It is phase 2 of our winter storm across the Bluegrass State. This time around, I'm tracking the potential for flooding rains and a very heavy snow band.
Crews have been working around the clock to clear Lexington's roads before more snow arrives.
A Pulaski County family loses their home to a fire the fire department had difficulty getting to because of the road conditions.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon to you. We have a wet and wintry night of weather ahead of us. It has been a rainy afternoon. This is some time-lapse video of the rain coming down in Lexington. Now, this rain will eventually turn to snow.
It's a forecast you'll want to keep an eye on tonight and overnight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here with an update on the ever-changing conditions. Chris?
Yeah, tracking a kind of a double-pronged attack from the weather tonight in the form of potentially flooding and also a very heavy band of snow that's going to try to pop across parts of central and eastern Kentucky late evening into the wee hours of the morning. All of that courtesy of this storm system that is across parts of the deep south. Yesterday, kind of phase number 1 of this winter storm. This go around, it's throwing a ton of moisture. Look at the pipeline of juice coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico, aimed towards central Tennessee and into most of central and eastern Kentucky. Because we have so much rain on the way, southern and eastern Kentucky, even before we see another switch to some snow, and a frozen ground with snow on the ground, watch the creeks and the streams. I could guarantee you in this setup, we're at least going to have some minor flooding in these areas, if not some moderate amounts of flooding before all is said and done. So we're going to watch the creeks and streams. Then late this evening, we're going to watch a winter weather advisory kick into high gear to take us through tonight for the possibility of several inches of snow. Don't be surprised if late this evening, once that heavy snow band sets up, if we don't see that upgraded to a winter storm warning for some counties. Lexington Bluegrass region, mainly in the form of rain. Eastern Kentucky, it's raining and it is heavy at times. Look at all the reds, the oranges and the yellows there coming out of the south. All of that in response to that area of low pressure that can cause some high water issues. We're going to track this band of snow that pops this evening. Right now, the best call on that is across parts of the areas I've shaded in the blue and the red for a slushy quick accumulation late this evening into the wee hours of the morning, guys. Those snowflakes this evening may be way up there in size. That shouldn't happen until likely after 9 or 10 o'clock or so. Then we see that expand into the wee hours of the morning. We'll come back in a few minutes and have a brand new hour-by-hour forecast that shows the timing and transition from rain to snow in about 15 minutes.
Chris, thank you. And given that, it has been a busy start to the week for road crews.
In Lexington, workers spent the night clearing main roads of yesterday's snow, and now they're working to get side roads in good shape before more snow arrives. WKYT's Monique Blair begins our First Alert Weather Team coverage with a look at road conditions.
Well, Sam and Amber, we drove around several Lexington side streets this afternoon, and many of them look quite a lot like this one behind me. Very slushy and very wet. Now, I spoke with Lexington's Streets and Roads Department, and they tell me crews are currently finishing up clearing all of the ranked roads on their snow plan. So with the rain we're experiencing right now, Streets and Roads crews can't really do much in terms of pre-treating with salt because the rain would just wash all of that salt away. So as we wait and see exactly what happens with this weather, I'm told salt and plow truck employees will be ready and waiting in case they do need to go out and treat or plow. I talked to many people today who live on side streets much like this one. They tell me they are concerned the slush that is still left on some roads will end up freezing.
Today it's been fine. Getting out of our neighborhood was a little bit slippery, but other than that, once we got to the main roads, they were fine.
I think if it drops, the roads are going to be really bad because everything's really wet and slushy and rainy. So I think that's a big concern.
Now, I also spoke with Kentucky's Emergency Management Department. They told me their biggest concern right now is because the temperature is above freezing and with the rain falling and this snow on the ground that's melting, they're concerned with extra water on the roadways that could cause some pooling. So you are urged to be careful in that area as well. I'm reporting live in Lexington. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Emergency Management is also warning drivers about possible black ice tonight. Side roads remained a mess in Pulaski County into the early afternoon.
The snowy driving conditions slowed down firefighters trying to reach a fire on Rainy Road. and that home couldn't be saved. Our Phil Pendleton continues our team coverage with a look at how the snow hampered firefighters.
Rainy Road in Pulaski County was covered in snow early Monday.
Hats off to the county road department for helping us get the roads cleared, getting some tankers hung and so forth.
County road crews joined the firefighters in rushing to the house that sat in a valley off the narrow road east of Somerset.
Fire coming out of 3 corners of the house when we got there.
It's just kind of a sad situation to see them in, you know. Just everybody's just lost in thoughts right now and don't know what to do and which direction to go. So
the homeowners say that everything that can be replaced was likely lost. They're just thankful that everything that cannot was saved.
they got plenty of family and friends around here. That's one thing about the community. You know, everybody pitches in and helps out.
Smoke detectors woke the family up. They were outside when firefighters arrived.
As far as I know, my nephew said he woke up and smelled smoke, and he got his mom and dad up, and they all got out, and got the pets out.
Firefighters say it started near a middle room of the house, possibly near the furnace. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The Shopville and Dabney fire departments and the Pulaski County Road Department responded to that fire. Quick work by crews both overnight and this morning got roads cleared in Pike County today. Temperatures and rain playing a role in melting the snow faster there. Officials say drivers even helped out as well.
We've been blessed. People have really slowed down. We've had a few fender benders here and there, but for the most part, we've been really good on car accidents.
Crews used a mixture of salt and liquid calcium chloride before the snow hit to keep the roads safe. The morning commute went pretty smoothly in Louisville this morning despite the snow. Plows and salt trucks worked all night to improve main roads there and the interstates. Side roads and back roads didn't get as much attention, so they were still pretty much snowy this morning. Remember, you can stay up to date on radar, the forecast, and the latest closings on WKYT.com. You can also find the information by downloading the WKYT News app. An emotional plea today from the family of a fallen police officer. Lexington police officer Brian Derman's widow, mother, and siblings asked the state parole board to keep Glenn Donahue in prison.
Donahue is serving a 20-year sentence for manslaughter in Derman's death. WKYT's Hillary Thornton was there as Derman's loved ones made their case for keeping Donahue locked up.
The state parole board listened to several people inside of this morning's hearing, including Officer Derman's widow, his siblings, and his mother.
This falls on our family every 2 years, and it brings everything back for us all over again from that horrible night on April 29th.
It is the second time in just 24 months Officer Brian Derman's loved ones are asking the state parole board to keep the man convicted of hitting and killing the officer behind bars.
Glenn Donahue has never accepted responsibility nor shown any remorse for his actions. Even when he was questioned by the parole board at his last hearing, he would not admit any fault. Serving a 20-year sentence after being convicted of second-degree manslaughter for the 2010 death of Officer Derman. The evidence was overwhelming that his crime was absolutely intentional. He held the wheel to the left, accelerated through the crash, and never even hit his brakes. He left Brian there to bleed out in the street.
This man wasn't arrested for stealing a bike. He wasn't arrested for knocking garbage cans over. He killed my brother in the street.
Officer Derman's widow, Brandy, bringing along more than 5,000 signatures from community members, also asking that Glenn Donahue not be allowed back out into the community. She also talked about what life is like without her husband and having to watch their son grow up without his dad. Let's not forget how different our son feels when Father's Day and Donuts with Dads rolls around. He is painfully aware that his dad is never coming home. Donahue will have his chance to make his case for parole to the board tomorrow morning from where he is incarcerated at the Little Sandy Correctional Complex. In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
If Donahue serves out the remainder of his sentence, he has less than 7 years left.
We have learned the name of a woman killed in a crash on Interstate 75. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Scott County. The coroner says that 27-year-old Bridget Smith died when her car ran off the road and hit a tree. She was from Owen County. Investigators say the roads were wet and there was light snow at the time, but they don't know if weather played a role in the crash. A missing Hardin County teenager has been found safe. 17-year-old Emma Riney had not been seen since leaving home last Thursday morning. State police say that she's been found in New Jersey. She's staying there with relatives until her family from Hardin County can go and get her.
President Barack Obama ordered flags to be flown at half-staff in the nation's capital in honor of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He died over the weekend, opening up a seat on the bench. As Weijia Jiang shows us, the vacancy is shaping the 2016 presidential race.
The owner of the West Texas ranch where Justice Antonin Scalia died says the 79-year-old was found in complete repose in his room on Saturday. Scalia was on a hunting trip and was his, quote, usual personable self the night before. Professionally, he was known as a conservative titan while serving the nation's highest court.
If it's a question of individual rights and individual liberties, that's what I'm there for.
Scalia's sudden death leaves the Supreme Court evenly divided, with 4 conservative and 4 liberal justices. On the campaign trail, candidates on both sides have reframed the presidential election as a referendum on the High Court's future.
We are one justice away from the Supreme Court ruling that none of us have a First Amendment right to follow our faith.
Every GOP candidate has said the next president should appoint Scalia's replacement, but President Obama pledged he would do it.
I plan to fulfill my constitutional responsibilities to nominate a successor in due time.
Demonstrators gathered on the snowy steps of the Supreme Court Monday, urging senators to consider the president's decision.
What we don't want to happen is for Congress to hold the Supreme Court hostage.
Despite his controversial opinions, Scalia had deep friendships with liberal justices, many of whom are praising his dedication as they grieve. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
A judge ruled Scalia died of natural causes and no autopsy was needed. He had a history of health problems, including heart trouble. His body was flown from Texas to Virginia yesterday.
One of the 6 Republican presidential candidates is getting help on the campaign trail from a former president. Former President George W. Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush campaigning for their brother Jeb Bush in South Carolina. Both George W. and his father won their South Carolina primaries. While the Bushes have historically done well there, Donald Trump remains the frontrunner in that race. The Lincoln Memorial is getting a makeover thanks to a generous donor. David Rubenstein is giving the National Park Service $18 million for the memorial. The money will be used to fix the roof, clean the marble, and add a second elevator. Rubenstein has already given tens of millions to refurbish the Washington Monument and other national icons.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new laser technology is helping people get rid of their unwanted tattoos. Doctors say it's more powerful and effective than anything else on the market. Kenneth Craig shows us how it works.
Good to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
Tommy Prosser is 38 years old, married, and now ready to start a family. And for him, that means getting rid of this large arm tattoo he got when he was 18.
At what point did you start thinking, man, that was a bad move, I don't want this?
Probably in my 20s.
The key here is that
Dr. Mitchell Chasen is working to erase it. He's using the latest FDA-approved laser technology called Pico 4. In just 3 visits, Tommy's 20-year-old panther tattoo is nearly gone.
Can't wait to see what it looks like this time.
The laser has 4 different wavelengths and speeds to target specific colors of ink.
How does this machine compare to other machines that were previously on the market?
So this is by far the most powerful machine to date.
He says for patients that means fewer treatments and a smaller chance of skin damage afterwards.
Each session takes just a few minutes. The number of treatments a patient needs depends on the color and size of the tattoo.
We are all done.
Treatments cost several $100s a session. Other than some redness and tenderness, most patients don't experience major side effects.
So we're just not seeing the scarring and change in color of the skin that we used to see with older technologies.
These before and after pictures show Tommy's progress.
I was just blown away at how quick it happened.
He says he's finally comfortable again in his own skin. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Martinsville, New Jersey.
If you want to get a tattoo, Dr. Chasen recommends limiting the design to dark green or black ink because those are the easiest colors to remove later on.